Hello and welcome to Marketing Edge on TV, Nigeria's leading initiative in the business of brand management and the management of brand business. It is a 30-minute potpourri of brand news, branding focus, industry conversation, and everything in the mix to promote the brand idea. My name is Dele Agadmo. You're welcome.
The Nigerian marketing and advertising industry no doubt offer a huge potential for prospective investors and professionals with requisite skills and competencies to tap into the market. Marketing Edge on TV is a potpourri of happenings and developments in the integrated marketing and communication space of the Nigerian economy. Watch out for top players, gladiators, and professionals in the competitive business of brand management and management of brand business in Nigeria. From the cerebral and glamorous advertising professionals to the well-groomed marketing wizkid dictating and directing brand management business. Watch Marketing Edge on TV, only on TVC News.
Welcome to Brand News. In a bid to sustain its competitive advantage over rival agencies and intensify market share growth, MediaFuse Dentsu Aegis Network has launched an up-to-date version of its proprietary consumer lifestyle research tool, CCS. At the unveiling ceremony, which took place recently at the Ikeja GRA office, Emeka Okeke, Group CEO of MediaFuse Dentsu Aegis Network, said the CCS Wave 2 was the most up-to-date and robust study on consumer behavior and media consumption pattern. He added that it was a more in-depth improvement on the CCS that was launched in 2016. And according to Mr. Okeke, CCS houses an array of media insights, product consumption, and behavioral attitudes that have effects on how consumers interact with media in relation to brand communication. At last, there appears to be a reprieve for agencies as clients have commenced payments of outstanding media debts totaling over 8 billion naira only. Impeccable industry sources have revealed that no fewer than 4 multinationals who were hitherto owing the media and the agencies have commenced payments of their outstanding debts following exclusive reports on the huge industry debts published in Marketing Edge, a leading brands and advertising publication based in Lagos. It will be recalled that Marketing Edge exclusively reported last month that a whopping sum of 8 billion naira media debt overhang has been generating controversies and ripples in the competitive but highly fragmented Nigerian media market. Meanwhile, Advan President Mrs. Folake Anemumuni has assured in her speech at the association's Marketing Excellence Awards that Advan Industry Dialogue will look into issues of concerns in the industry with a view to trashing out such concerns, outstanding debts inclusive. This, she reasoned, would ensure continuous meaningful relations between all parties in the value chain. And Marketing Director, Nigerian Breweries PLC, Mr. Orihai Emmanuel, and 42 others have been conferred with the fellowship of the National Institute of Marketing of Nigeria, NIMN. The conferment took place during the Fellows Dinner and Awards Night organized by the Institute at the Radisson Blu Hotel, Ikeja, Lagos. The event, themed Driving Growth in a Turbulent Environment, had Professor Chris Ogbeche as the keynote speaker for the occasion. Similarly, 42 other senior marketing professionals in the country also bagged NIMN fellowship. And lastly, the Story Lab, a premium entertainment content division of Dentsu Aegis Network, has been appointed by Abimbev Africa to develop and execute the entertainment strategy, starting with Castle Light SA and Budweiser SA, and of course Nigeria. Jeremy Bauer, head of the Story Lab SSA, is very excited to work with 2 great brands as they develop and roll out their entertainment strategies. After 2 very insightful entertainment marketing summits in SA and Nigeria with the Abimbev's Consumer Connections team, they are looking forward to tapping into the creative potential Africa has to offer in the entertainment marketing space for these brands. And that's it on Brand News on Marketing Edge on TV.
The Nigerian marketing and advertising industry no doubt offer a huge potential for prospective investors and professionals with requisite skills and competencies to tap into the market. Marketing Edge on TV is a potpourri of happenings and developments in the integrated marketing and communication space of the Nigerian economy. Watch out for top players, gladiators, and professionals in the competitive business of brand management and management of brand business in Nigeria. From the cerebral and glamorous advertising professionals to the well-groomed marketing wizkid dictating and directing brand management business. Watch Marketing Edge on TV, only on TVC News.
TomTom is a premium candy brand manufactured by one of Nigeria's largest FMCG company, Cadbury. In 1970, when it was launched, it was the first candy brand in Nigeria, and it enjoyed massive appeal and acceptance by Nigerian consumers. Though TomTom has undergone several rebranding over the years in a bid to keep it relevant, however, it was originally a big elliptical black and white sweet with strong menthol flavor. As time went by, competition in the candy segment became heated as rival candy brands emerged in the market, chipping away at TomTom's market leadership. In a bid to reinforce its leadership and check incursion by competition, TomTom launched a new variant called TomTom Honey Lemon. TomTom Honey Lemon is a yellow candy with white stripes that has a blend of honey, lemon, and menthol to provide consumers with soothing relief. The new extension was launched to cater for a new segment of candy consumers. The marketing director, Cadbury Nigeria PLC, Mr. Dele Anifowoshi, said that the new TomTom Honey Lemon was a product of research that revealed a consumer desire for a warm and calm candy in their mouth and to ease throat discomfort. He said the uniqueness of the new TomTom Honey Lemon lies in the distinctive blend of three interesting flavors, honey, lemon, and menthol, to create a soothing relief. He added that this latest variant of TomTom is one which cannot be found in any other candy brand, as it truly soothes while maintaining fresh breath. Also, in a bid to provide touch points for consumer engagement, TomTom has over the years been a loyal supporter of Nigeria sports. For example, TomTom recently signed a 3-year partnership with the Nigeria Football Federation as the official candy of the Super Eagles for the 2018 World Cup. The brand is also regarded as the official candy of other national teams in the country, with the aim of fostering the development of sports and talents across the country.
The Nigerian marketing and advertising industry no doubt offer a huge potential for prospective investors and professionals with requisite skills and competencies to tap into the market. Marketing Edge on TV is a potpourri of happenings and developments in the integrated marketing and communication space of the Nigerian economy. Watch out for top players, gladiators, and professionals in the competitive business of brand management and management of brand business in Nigeria. From the cerebral and glamorous advertising professionals to the well-groomed marketing wizkid dictating and directing brand management business. Watch Marketing Edge on TV, only on TVC News.
You're welcome to Industry Conversation on Marketing Edge on TV. And today we have as guest Boye Adefila. Boye Adefila is the MD CEO of Down to Earth Marketing. You're welcome to the program.
Thank you.
All right then. So what are your projections for the marketing communication industry for 2019?
Well, 2019 is going to be a decider for the IMC industry in the sense that a lot of people will have to decide whether they want to stay or leave this industry because things are getting tougher. Now, there will be need for a lot of creativity because the clients are spending less in the sense of 360 degrees marketing. But one of the critical challenges is that clients are turning the agencies into banks. Okay. And that's not what they're best at. All these issues of 120 days credit, agencies are not positioned to offer credit. They are positioned to offer service. So agencies will have to get more creative in dancing around these kind of issues. There's also the issue of manpower development. You cannot churn out great staff in a couple of minutes. But the jobs are coming. The jobs are not going to wait for you to train your staff. So a lot of people are going to be hard up. It's one thing to win a pitch. It's another thing to execute it.
Okay.
And the client will pull the plug if you win the pitch and you're not delivering. So there will be a need for a lot of creativity in dancing around these problems in the short term. Creativity, manpower development. And of course, when we talk about manpower development, we're talking about training. Now, the issue with training, which I hope we'll talk about more as we go on, is that gone are those days when we send our staff to seminars and workshops for feel-good purposes, and they come back with giant folders, and that they're not going to read. The training industry within the IMC world has to redefine what is training. There's need to move into mentoring, into coaching. I'm glad a few institutions, you probably know them as Marketing Edge, are springing up to fill those gaps. But it's too little, too late for now. So those, in a nutshell, are the issues, my projections for 2019. Those who are there will either have to grow big or go home, as we say.
Okay. So how do you think brands can progress to the next level in 2019? Because you've talked about creativity, you've talked about manpower, you've talked about training. How can they use those, as stepping stones towards progress and other factors, of course, in 2019?
I would like, regarding the brands themselves, their own problem is a little bit different. Their own problem, from my point of view, is their ability to live up to the meaning of branding, which is basically keeping their promises. A lot of brands are shortchanging the consumer, and the consumer is not stupid. There are a couple of brands out there, products, tangible products that will write 50 milligrams, and it's not 50 milligrams. And so the basic definition of branding is make a promise and keep it. It's not your logo that is branding. Those are external features. So their own problem is not as much, is in a different way. They need to keep their promises. Otherwise, foreign brands will fill in those gaps. The consumer is not stupid. And then we'll begin to talk about Asia taking over our environment.
Yes.
So they have to go back and say, how do we solve these problems of infrastructure? It's not always by shortchanging the product. Because you've made a promise, you have to keep it. It's not by reducing the grammage, reducing this, reducing that. They keep doing that. And eventually the customer will notice. Then the customer will shift. This customer, as we know, the millennial customer, is not even loyal in the first place. Now you are now promising him 10 and giving him 7. There's going to be a problem. If they keep their promises, and that's their business, they have to get creative. Every other person is getting creative. They too have to get creative without, resorting to fraud, because that is outright fraud.
Okay, so now the local markets, they shouldn't shortchange the consumer because the consumer is smart. Now, if they happen to build on their promises, say you promise 10 milligrams
or 10 grams,
and you give them, say, 11 or 12. So that closes the market to those who are coming from outside to take over the market. Yes, coupled with the fact that they have to train and they have to build up on their creativity as well. Yeah. So what if the market coming from, say, Asia, for instance, what if they triple their efforts to come into the Nigerian market or to the African markets? Then what happens?
It gets more exciting, and now you've forayed into marketing strategy. The essence of marketing is differentiation. And like I always say, there wouldn't be need for marketing if we were in an utopian environment where everything was free and endless resources. So they have to keep differentiating. And as you know, you can differentiate along the four major pieces of marketing. So it's not always about price. I can stick to my price and you are increasing your price and I'm making more sales.
And give freebies.
Yeah, because we need to find out what does the consumer in that sphere of consumption, what does he or she really want? Now, after the basic thing that the consumer wants, there's what we call third-party delight. Now, a lot of people are more interested in third-party delight. For example, I'm not drawn to free. I'm not drawn to get free. I'm not drawn to it. Now, I may be in the minority, but then you have to understand me if you want to do business with me, that I'm not drawn to free. I'm drawn to keep your primary promise. So if you say unlimited internet, for example, make sure it's unlimited, not 80 gig cap. These are the problems. Unlimited in Nigeria has 70 gig cap, 80 gig cap, and then the consumer is frustrated. And where does he go? He goes to Twitter. And then you have a PR problem on your hands, because the people that want to buy are looking at reviews and they are saying, your network is not good, your network is crappy, your network is that. The reviews chase away the new consumer. So the local guy can easily insulate his business against encroachment from outsiders by simply keeping his promise. We feel that full disclosure is not good. Actually, I favor full disclosure. Because when you tell me, the more you give me information, maybe I call a cab and the cab says, sir, my shock absorber, you will feel some things as they go, but this motor will go, reach where will they go? You say, I'll feel more comfortable than we're going, then I'm hearing, you know? I would have prepared my mind. Full disclosure is important, and that's one way to insulate ourselves against foreign encroachment. But then there's nothing wrong with foreign encroachment, because they will come with their own problems. Number one problem they will have is understanding the local consumer, and that is very key. You know, and then manpower again. You know, so, and then we have a certain strength, which is adaptability. The Nigerian professional adapts very quickly. He begins to study what do these guys really bring to the table. And you find a situation where we may even be hiring them far ahead of their coming over.
It's still industry conversation on Marketing Edge on TV, and my guest is still Boye Adefila, the MD CEO of Down to Earth Marketing. So, my next question: what are the key behavioral and consumer trends that agencies and brands must, pay close attention to for 2019?
Okay, there are two that immediately come to mind. The first one is what we talked about a little bit earlier, that brands need to keep their promises, because the consumer can be quite unforgiving, and he or she comes with this unforgiving nature, with venom, with vengeance, because of social media. So if, like I said earlier, if you promise 10 grams, you had better give out 10 grams, because the next thing, these consumers are going online to scream about your fraudulent behavior. So brands have to be more careful and be more definitive about this. The second issue would be that clients are competing with each other so much that they are spoiling the consumer. What do I mean by this? In a bid to outdo each other, everybody is giving freebies. So the consumer is beginning to enjoy what we call in TQM third-party delights more than the main thing he or she is paying for. So at some point, you begin to check your overheads, like, have you spoiled this customer? And that's what a friend of mine called novelties. You know, look at iPhone and the basic China phone. The China phone has more features. TV, sauna, bedroom, everything is on the China phone. But you see, it still doesn't compare to the iPhone in terms of reputation and cost. So that's what the brands have to understand, that it's not by doing each other. I give 4, you give 6. You give 6, I give 8. Where are you going? You're not going to be able to sustain it. So we need to come back to reputation branding, which is where my PR friends will really have some business to do, and educate clients more about reputation branding. Advertising will take you so far. There's a reason it's called IMC. You know, so if you how did iPhone build so much reputation that despite all these multiple offerings, novelties on the so-called Asian phones, iPhone still has its reputation and is still selling at the premium. So in short, brands have to keep their promises, 1. 2, they need to focus more on building reputation, what the brand stands for, you know, rather than adding add-ons, you know, too much emphasis on value-added services. They are good, but then they can be easily replicated. You give 10% off, I give 12% off. They have to stop spoiling the consumer, because at the end of the day, the consumer will pot. He keeps potting and he keeps potting. He keeps searching. There are people who use touch to look for discounts. You can't build your empire on those kind of consumers.
Okay.
You have to look for loyal consumers.
Okay.
So they need to do more research. How do I turn my consumers into loyalists?
Okay.
Those are the
lastly,
game changers.
because of time, we don't have too much time for.
Okay.
We'll probably have to continue this conversation in another episode. But
Okay.
we know that trends are changing fast. This is the digital age. So, what should brands? What should they look out for in terms of getting their brands noted, especially in the digital age for 2019? How should they use digitalization, for instance, to promote their brands?
There are two things. I'll respond to that in two ways. One, they have to understand the platform, the digital platform. If you don't understand the platform, you will make a lot of mistakes. You waste a lot of money. So if you're going to use a digital platform like social media, and under social media you want to use Twitter, you have to understand Twitter. It's not the same thing as Facebook. And there are a lot of angry people on Twitter. So if your customer service is below 101%, don't go to Twitter. Just stay where you are and manage it like that. Secondly, they have to understand integrating digital. Digital is not something from outer space. It has to be integrated into field activations. So if you have a store, for example, how do you do online, offline, or offline, online? They cannot exist separately. So you can't be doing field activation and then you now leverage it on social media and say, oh, yesterday we went to Yaba. That's old school. How about saying, oh, on social dates we're going to Yaba. You say it on social media. Then the people that when they get to Yaba, they connect back. So it's integrated. Or if you want to make it a sales activation strategy, maybe I come to your supermarket and it's 40,000 naira. I see you are not making up your mind. And I say, madam, if you upload that product right now onto your Facebook page, you can get 20 likes. I give you 10% off. That's integrating offline with online. So it's not just about, that's why I said creativity has to come in. IMC has to be involved even with the digital, not standalone digital plan strategies. Yeah.
All right, well, it has been very, very interesting, but this is where we're going to drop the anchor on industry conversation for this week. But be assured that this conversation will continue in another episode. It's still Marketing Edge on TV. And that has been our package this week on Marketing Edge on TV, and we hope you have enjoyed it. Well, don't forget that you can interact with us via all of our social media platforms: on Twitter at Marketing Edge M, on Instagram at Marketing Edge Mag, and on YouTube at Marketing Edge. I wish you a Merry Christmas. My name is Dele Agadumo.